This is Radio Ukraine International with the weekly program Doing Business, hosted by me, Rodion Zhiznievsky, and produced by Irina Samsonova. Doing Business covers current economic developments in and concerning Ukraine and gives topical information as well as immediate and longer-term economic forecasts. It is what we think might give you food for thought and help you see Ukraine from the economic angle. Here is the second part of the Doing Business edition about Masters, the international student program hosted by Oxford International, a British Council-accredited organization that has educated over 500,000 students from Europe, Asia, the Middle East, and Latin America. During the two-week Masters course, students are actively involved in project work that is complemented by lectures, social events, sports activities, or sightseeing excursions. Each day offers a different challenge and a further opportunity to learn about the ever-changing world of business. In the morning, students attend series of business lectures, and in the afternoon they take part in product development sessions and work in teams on their business plans. The evening social program offers a variety of events like film shows, sports, discos, and trips to places of cultural interest, all giving them a wonderful opportunity to make friends with peers from other countries. Students can also enjoy a series of fascinating presentations by successful entrepreneurs and business people that give insights into how companies tackle markets, what drives investment decisions, and what capabilities are needed for success. In the afternoon sessions, schools work together as a team to create their vision for a business, develop a coherent strategy, produce a business plan, and prepare for the final pitch at the end of the program. In the first part of this edition, I talked to Kamila Doleysi, academic director of Oxford International Digital Institute, who has been involved in the TESOL industry for more than 15 years. In what particular subjects are the competitions held? Who can compete? What are the age, language skills, and other selection criteria? What are the financial terms for admission?
We run 3 different kinds of competitions, but all 3 are centered around English as a second language. And they are all done from the perspective that they're competitions for teams. So students do not come and compete individually, but they represent their school or their city or their country and compete as a team. The biggest and perhaps the longest, the one with the most history is the BEO, British English Olympics. The BEO is aimed at the age group of 12 to 17, so typically high school students or secondary school students, depends on where you're coming from. And the BEO it's a themed competition which has 7 competition elements within its system. There's 2 presentations, a debate, and 4 creative challenges. So there is a drama piece, there is a song that the students have to perform a cappella, there is an improvisation challenge, and there is a mystery challenge. There's, of course, a theme that kind of overarches all of them, but the theme changes every year. And the students are typically told about the theme, or the theme is revealed with the guidelines for the competition, typically in September of every sort of school year. And then they have the following X many months to prepare for the competition, which normally takes place around Easter break. So that's the one with the, I guess, biggest history. It's also our most popular program, the one that tends to have most students. The minimum required level for the students to compete in this is a B1 on the Common European Framework scale, but the reality is that most teams that come to compete are B2 or higher. They're very, very, very good students and very skilled at English. And I think what happened sort of gradually over time, I think it was the first competition that started was the BEO, but then we had students and we had teams and schools that really enjoyed it and obviously wanted to come back, but the students either outgrew the age range or they were kind of, maybe they've done 2 BEOs and they wanted to do something else. So what came out of it was the second type of competition, which is called the Masters, where it is aimed very much at students who have perhaps done already a BEO and want to try something new. So typically the students who participate in the Masters are between 17 and 19. A lot of schools and a lot of teachers like the program because it requires effectively very little pre-arrival preparation. So it's not like, we release the guidelines in September and everybody has time to prepare and plan. Here it's kind of the other way around. The students are given a business brief that asks them to come up with a business model or product following the brief. And then they have the duration of the program to do so. And the program culminates in a final presentation and a pitch to business judges as to how viable that business idea actually might be. This competition is slightly different from the perspective that, of course, in addition to the preparation sessions or the preparation time that students have to prepare their pitch and work on the brief, they also do get certain amount of business English input, so almost like lessons. So obviously also the minimum level required for this is a bit higher, and we do require students to be at least B2 on the CFR scale. So that's the masters. And then as time went on, obviously we had the opposite problem in a good way. And that's the fact that we started getting sort of younger audience or students who did not have exactly that kind of language proficiency to participate either in the BEO or the masters. So the World English Experience, also called the WE, was born, and that's very much kind of an open program for students anywhere from 8 to 16. It is also a program which is most similar to a standard summer school type of program because there is a certain number of general English lessons that the students take part in. But in addition to that, they do also compete in 4 events. These events are a little bit more aimed at team building and sort of creativity rather than linguistically challenging for the students, because obviously the level can be quite varied on this program, but it's a lot of fun. And so effectively it's open to students of any level and of any age. All participating students and all participating teams receive a certificate, obviously, of participation. The schools receive a commemorative plaque, and then obviously trophies. If they make it to the top 3, then there's great trophies. But it's an academic program, so we do not tend to provide students with monetary reward, but it's the prestige that their school is gaining.
Ending our interview, I asked Kamila Dolejsi about partners in Ukraine and whether she saw any progress or changes for the better.
In the Ukraine, we work with DEC Education. They are our go-to partner and have brought many teams to us already. So I think they know the process from the beginning to the end. Typically, our agent partners are then able to take you through all the paperwork from the beginning to the end. And it very much kind of, very often they are able to help you with insurance and flights and all those formalities. We also do provide certain degree of pre-arrival support. So each competition, typically in about October, November of every year, we tend to launch a forum for the participating teams, even though, even if they're not sort of fully formed yet, but they know that they want to come, they're still working on building their team. We do give them access to this forum where they can ask questions and we answer those on a weekly basis, whether they are relevant to the competitions or simply relevant to the program in general. And we do, through the forum as well, sort of feed them information that they may need, whether that's related to, what to pack or how to best prepare for the competition. So we do provide a lot of pre-arrival guidance on that as well.
How long have you been cooperating with Ukraine? Have you since noticed any progress or changes for the better?
I believe we have been working with DEC Education since 2016. Initially, they were bringing some groups to our summer school programs. If I'm not mistaken, because I do not have all the access now working remotely, but if I'm not mistaken, their first BEO was in 2018. But they have brought students both on the BEO program as well as the masters. They have done pretty well. And one thing that stands out to me, at least, is that I do remember one of the years there was a DEC Education team that actually scored within the top 3 in the song contest, and they were asked to perform their song live in front of an audience of about 2,000 students from all over the world.
We thank Ms. Dolejsi for her informative and interesting answers. And now let me introduce Valeria Nechiporuk from DEC Education Group, the exclusive partner of Oxford International in Ukraine.
My name is Valeria Nechiporuk. I'm an academic curator of the BO project, which I've been a part of for the past 2 years and a half, including the role of the team leader.
How long has DEC Education Group been engaged in this activity?
So the very first year for that group to take part in BO events was back in 2018, and since then we always had our teams to prepare for BO and go there. Unfortunately, last year we couldn't go because the whole world situation happened like 1 month before we were supposed to go to the UK, but we continued our preparation, and even though the contest was postponed a couple of times now, but we still want to go, and the kids are still challenging themselves and improving their skills to go there and to have this amazing experience.
Why is the Oxford International Entrepreneur Program interesting and useful for Ukrainians?
The only thing I'd like to add from my personal point of view, since I've taken part in the project directly with interacting with the kids and seeing how they grow, how they change, going through the whole program, because it's quite a long period of time, considering half a year preparation, and it is quite a big part of the students who are 13, 14, 15 years old. So you can see a big change. It is just the best program we've ever heard of and taken part in, if we are talking about the educational programs, because it's an international project. It is an amazing opportunity to learn how to work in a team, because they work during the long period, and they become friends and they compete against the whole world, if we can say so. Of course, the atmosphere, the competition is amazing. Everyone's very friendly, and they spend time after the competitions together, and we go to excursions together. But still, intellectually, you compete with the rest of the world. There is this amazing balance between competitions and just different activities on site and the tourist experience during these 2 weeks of program. So it's just an amazing mix of experiences for the young person. I would just say that if anyone is hesitating about taking or not taking part in this project, I would definitely say yes. Just let your kids or yourself, if you're a student who is listening to this right now, to have this experience, this life-changing experience.
Valeria Nečiporuk from DEC Education Group, the exclusive partner of Oxford International in Ukraine. You're listening to Radio Ukraine's weekly program Doing Business, hosted by me, Rodion Жизневский, and produced by Irina Samsonova. How to get involved? How many students normally take the prep course? How many groups are there, and how many students does each group count?
In order to get involved in the program, you need to pass the test, where we can check the students' language ability and their emotional stage of being ready for such program, because it is a challenging program. It requires a lot of personal skills, not only the knowledges of language or business or any other kind of field. It's very much about the psychological part too. The preparation starts about 5 months before the event. So we usually start in November, and every week meeting with our students once a week for about 3 hours. We work on different contests, we work on different tasks, we develop different skills, we work in a team, we become a team. We spend quite a lot of time to make them feel comfortable within the team, and that goes for, I would say, 5 months, and because usually the BO contest is held in April. This program usually happens at the beginning of April. So yeah, starting from November up until the end of March, we have our preparation time.
Would you tell us about that group's experience of participating in Oxford International events, and in BEO particularly? What was the highest result?
Speaking of achievements and results, to be honest, even to take part in this competition is already a huge result, considering the 5 month preparation time, right? Having the performances ready for the international contest, where you're gonna be on the stage in front of 600 other students, because usually all the students are split into 4 or 5 different locations. So in total, it's usually 2,000 students, but at each location you have about 600. Which is a huge number considering that the performers are kids, students of like 12, 16 years, or a bit older if we are talking about BO masters. The results were that one of the teams got to the semi-final, which is a big achievement, and another team had the best a cappella at their location, so they were invited to perform on the stage at the closing, at the award ceremony, which is only for like couple of teams to be offered in total among 100 teams.
Could you share with us some memorable moments from BEO?
Speaking of the memorable moments, well, to be honest, the very first one which crosses my mind is the moment when our team and myself were meeting with all the other teams at our location in the huge hall, were waiting for the results of the first round. So we were supposed to hear the team names who got to the semi-final, and that was a very exciting and nervous, unforgettable feeling and moment. So we were like all staying in this hall. The manager of the location was on the stage with other people from Oxford International to present the results and to introduce the teams who are going to the next round. We were like thinking, oh my God, there is a chance that we got to the semi-final, but maybe not, you never know. And we were like very, very, very excited to find out. And at the same time, you are scared to find out. So they were supposed to announce 4 teams, and they said the name of the first team who is going to the semi-final, which was one of the best teams in our group. And then they announced the second team and the third team, and then it was the last team to get to the semi-final, and we were just like looking at the stage, completely silent, and then they announced the name of our team, and we just started screaming so loudly and jumping and hugging each other, and just couldn't stop sharing these emotions. And that was just such a moment when you just want to hug the whole room of 600 people and to cry at the same time. So that was one of the most unforgettable moments of the BO project. But there are a lot of them. It just was one of the most like mixed one of like being scared and excited at the same time and happy after all.
This is Radio Ukraine International with the weekly program Doing Business and its host Rodion Żyzniewski. We thank Valeria Nečiporuk for her answers and give the floor to participants in the upcoming BEO Masters, Lizа Shurobor and Кейт Palchey. What was the main reason for you to take part in BEO?
As for me, the main reason for my participation in BEO was meeting new people from all around the world. Of course, to practice my English, and also business is an extremely interesting topic for me.
Kate, could you tell us more about your reasons?
Actually, at first, I refused to participate in BEO, but after a long time thinking, to be able to overcome my fear of the stage and self-doubt, I agreed. And the other reason was to meet new people, because being introvert is kind of harsh, you know.
Okay. So the main thing that you would like to struggle your fear to speak in public.
Yeah.
Okay. Could you tell us about the process of preparation for BEO? What do you like most about it? Okay, let's start with you.
Okay, it has been almost 1 year since we have been studying there. So what I would like to emphasize is how comfortable atmosphere and teachers here are. And they always cheer me up And even if I do everything wrong and somehow understand my confusing thoughts.
Oh, that's nice. Liz, what about you?
Okay, I really like the preparation. I'm like waiting the whole week for the Sundays. And the main thing that I like is that we get a lot of interesting and useful information. And I also think that we are lucky to have tutors that can interest us in anything that might seem boring for someone else. And I also like the atmosphere.
Are you going to study abroad or here in Ukraine? Liz, the question, let's start with you.
I'm planning to try to enroll in foreign universities.
Why? What makes it different from Ukrainian ones?
I just want to change the atmosphere, new people, new culture. I was thinking about American universities because they always seemed like a dream to me, because I think probably it's because of movies and series, yes.
But have you considered any other options in other country, in Canada or in Germany?
Yes, I was thinking about Canada and Germany, but it just USA lies closer for me, yes.
Kate, what about you?
I'm planning to study in Toronto, Canada, because I'm sure this country will give me a lot of opportunities in the sphere of marketing that I would really like to study. But I never been there, and it kind of scares me, and nobody will help me there. And actually, I'm not sure if I enroll to Toronto, but I would definitely try. If not, hello, Mohilanka of Shevchenko.
Liz, the question to you. Just Kate mentioned Ukrainian universities. Is there any kind of plan B in Ukrainian universities?
Yes, I have a plan B in Ukraine. I don't remember the specific name of this university, but I was planning to choose the occupation biology and engineering. I chose it because I'm interested in biology. That's it.
Kate, what about you?
I would like to become IT specialist or web designer. So I combine it and I have marketing.
Oh, nice. So do you think it will be that needed, that required in the future? Can we say that is the job of the future?
I'm sure it is, because digital market becomes very essential to our lives. That's a must for us.
We thank Lisa Shurobor and Kate Palchey for the interview and wish them success in their studies and future careers. Everyone has the potential to become an entrepreneur, but not all acquire the knowledge and skills needed to transform an idea into a competitive, innovative product. It is really important for youngsters to get such skills. The BEO Masters from Oxford International give them a head start on the journey to being a successful entrepreneur, allowing them to learn from the best and get real experience from international entrepreneur guest speakers. That was Radio Ukraine's weekly program Doing Business, hosted by me, Rodion Жизневский, and produced by Irina Samsonova. We have just talked about Masters, the international student program hosted by Oxford International. Thanks for listening.